I'm going to cook another recipe with chicken. Now this time it's chicken korma. And I know how popular chicken korma is with all of you. Everybody in this country loves a good chicken korma. Just to tell you where korma comes from and where its history lies, I think that will make a lot of sense. Now korma traditionally is a light sauce. It's made with cream and nuts. Technically speaking, it started from North India during Mughal time in India. Now there are few characteristics of korma which we always look for from technical point of view. A korma should be a light creamy gravy. It should have saffron, and the flavors I would look for are Javitri ilaichi, which is mace and cardamom powder. And often korma is finished with either rose water or kevada water. They are used in different sweet dishes also in India. Hence korma, when you eat it, there is a kind of sweet texture to it, sweet flavor to it, and people often crave for that. Korma generally has a thickening agent, and that is in the form of a nut. Most of the time people would use almond or almond powder or almond paste, made freshly of course, but in North India people would use cashew nuts, and cashew nuts is also accompanied or paired with another type of nut, which is actually not a nut, it's the melon seeds. We call it char magas. All these things are soaked and then made into a fine paste and then added into the korma at a certain point of time when it's about to get ready and thickens and also cooks the nuts properly as well. Right, coming back to our ingredients. For making chicken marinade, you're going to need about 400 grams of chicken supreme cut into dices, 200 ml of single cream, about 50 to 70 grams of grated cheddar cheese, pinch of saffron, lime or lemon juice, about a tablespoon, about half a chili chopped, 1 tablespoon of mint chopped, and 1 tablespoon of ginger chopped, a pinch of garam masala or a quarter teaspoon of garam masala, and a quarter teaspoon of red chili powder. To make the sauce, we're going to need about 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 teaspoon of shahi zira or cumin seeds, about 50 grams of cashew nuts, about 30 grams of char magas or melon seeds, about 100 grams of fried onion, half a teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of cardamom and mace powder mixed together, 2 medium onions finely chopped, 2 medium tomatoes finely chopped or minced, and about 150 ml of Greek yogurt or thick natural yogurt. Right, to make the marinade, I'm going to use single cream, and for about 4 chicken supreme, I'm taking about 200 ml of cream. Cheese, rather than telling you in grams, I'll show you. I'm adding about 3 dessert spoon equivalent to 2 tablespoons. Red chili powder, just a quarter teaspoon. Garam masala powder, again quarter teaspoon, no more than that. I'm just using a pinch, literally a pinch of saffron. Lime juice or lemon juice. Has to be about a tablespoon, so 2.5 teaspoon would do. And I got here about half a green chili chopped, about a teaspoon chopped of ginger. I said about a tablespoon of chopped mint, but a little bit extra would do, and salt of course. So what I'm going to do is mix it all together. Idea is to make sure that cheese kind of melts in the cream before you add the chicken. A lot of people would add ginger garlic paste also, but because we are going to make korma, which is a very mild preparation, I refrain from it. There's no need for it. So chicken goes in now. Right, ideally I should leave it for a good 15-20 minutes before I stick it in the oven, but I actually don't have that much patience today, people. So I'm going to put it straight in the tray. Idea was to just coat it lightly, which I have. You could use, that's why I was saying you could use double cream, which will coat even better, but trust me, this will be absolutely fine. I don't need more than this. I think I got more chicken than the size of the tray, so I will just stick to about 3 portions Right, this goes in the hot oven, which is at 190 degrees centigrade at the moment. It's been preheated at that, and it will be ready in 15 minutes. Right, for making korma, you could start with ghee or butter, but vegetable oil is a good option. Wherever you can cut the calories, it's a good practice. So I have taken rather large amount of oil here, which is about 2.5 tablespoons, and it's really smoky and hot. But before I do anything, I just want to make sure that's absolutely right. Check. Yes, it's sizzling. So just about half a teaspoon, and onions, about 2 medium onions, which have been finely chopped. They go in straight. Saute that quickly. Good time to add a pinch of salt. Now when we add pinch of salt, generally idea is to color the onions really well. In this case, we are not going to color the onions. We are just going to make the onions go translucent or soft, and then we will add rest of the ingredients. Right, once the onion have reached this stage, which is kind of little translucent for me, it's absolutely fine. I could go on to add my onion paste. So this was a fried onion, a lot more quantity than that, and then we made it into a paste by mixing it with little water. So I'm using about a large thick tablespoon. Saute that together with onion. Though this onion was already fried and properly cooked, idea is to blend it with the chopped onions. So this provides another texture. Now korma can be a very smooth sauce. Korma can be a little chunky sauce as well, as far as UK is concerned. So this is halfway between. I'm crossing the bridge. So I've left the purist side and mixing it with the modern side. Okay, now this is actually getting a little hot for me. What I'm going to do is cool it down a bit by adding a little bit of cream here. I'll come back for more cream. This is just to get more liquid going. You could add water also, but because I'm going to use plenty of cream in this dish, that's why I've used it. Otherwise I'll add water and then trying to reduce the water. There's no point in that. I'll get back to the spices. Start with turmeric, just a pinch because there's a lot of saffron coming. I'll add a pinch of cardamom now, and there's a lot bigger pinch coming later. Pinch of mace as well. Half a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon of coriander powder. Just a small pinch of red chili powder. And just a small pinch of garam masala. Garam masala will return later again. And I'm going to add a little bit of green chili, which is about half a green chili, and a little bit of chopped ginger as well. Right. The idea is to make sure that spices kind of gel in and cook well here before I add rest of the ingredients. Well, as the onions are getting sorted, I have to mix each and every ingredient. We got yogurt, about 2.5 tablespoons, 1.5 tablespoons of cashew nut paste, and about 3/4 tablespoon of melon seed paste. And that would sort it out. It will bring enough thickness in the sauce. I'll whisk it all together. And before I add that paste, I'll add tomatoes, which are about 2 tomatoes, which have been chopped or minced. Now this is where little diversion in the recipe comes. Korma sauce in India will not have tomatoes in there. But this is where we come to the UK korma. And as I said, this is a kind of fusion recipe. That's what it is. Nothing wrong with this, but it's a new learning for me too. So I'll take it right to top temperature, and then add yogurt and the nuts. And if you were somebody who are allergic to nuts, then you can add only yogurt, but make sure you add yogurt towards the end of the cooking, because if you add yogurt too early, the sauce will split and you will not be able to have a thin, fine sauce. So that's good. I can add this nut paste, and which has been mixed with yogurt. Still I've got cream to go in there, and the saffron. If it's too thick, you can always add little water to thin it down. But I will take the stock of the consistency only after adding the cream. Don't rush in to add water, otherwise you'll be correcting the sauce throughout again. The color looks lovely, but remember, this is not from saffron. This yellow color is coming from turmeric. And I will add all the cream now. Now once the cream is added, make sure you cook the sauce slowly. Taste the sauce before I add anything else. It tastes really nice. It needs some seasoning. So a little bit of salt will go in, and a pinch of cardamom powder. Always reserve cardamom and mace powder towards the end. Don't be in a rush to add it early, because the flavors will get lost out in cooking. And a pinch of Garam Masala as well. And just to finish, a pinch of saffron. Don't add too much because color is already quite good. There's no need to overpower the color. Saffron, I've added the saffron just for flavor. Okay, it's nice thick sauce. I can thin it down with a little bit of water, but I would do that after taking my chicken out from the oven. Look at that. This is properly cooked. Right, the sauce is very thick. I'll add about 100 ml of water just to thin it down. Always add little by little. You don't have to add 100 ml straight on. Start with 50 ml, see if the consistency is right. If it's not, then add more. This is fine. This is absolutely right. And then once the sauce is of the right consistency, you can add the chicken pieces. Chicken is properly cooked, really nicely cooked. Remember, if you were having a barbecue at home, you could cook this chicken. You could cook this chicken on the barbecue just to get an extra punch, a smoky punch, which would be really nice. Now, this is absolutely ready in my opinion. This rocks. I'm going to add a handful, good generous amount of coriander, and a jolly good generous amount of chopped mint. My korma is almost ready. One boil and out, and then I'm ready to serve. Right guys, korma is ready, and there are only two ways to serve it. Either with pulao rice, stroke boiled rice, or with naan. So I've chosen to serve it with plain, boiled, true basmati rice. Now the reason behind it is, it has got so many beautiful flavors. The sauce has got saffron, garam masala, yogurt, nuts, you name it, and korma has got it. Why deflect the flavors? So just keep simple plain rice, or maybe a pulao rice, a simple one, and your korma would taste so nice with that. So here we go. Perfecto. Right, there's a lot of mint, and this mint flower and the mint leaves are handy, so just garnish with that. You could choose whatever you wish to, but mint makes sense with korma because mint and korma, that flavor rocks for me. Right, so this is my British korma. I hope you'll enjoy it. Now, just to recap guys, how I started making this. First, I marinated the chicken, and the marinade was made with cream, 3 tablespoons of cheddar cheese, red chili powder, pinch of garam masala, a pinch of saffron, green chili chopped, about half of it, lots of chopped mint leaf, salt. I mixed it all together and marinated the chicken for a good 15 minutes, and then I cooked it in hot oven for about 12 to 15 minutes till chicken was absolutely cooked. Now to make the sauce, I started with 2 tablespoons of oil, added about a teaspoon of shahi zira, Sauteed that and then added 2 medium onions chopped. Sauteed the medium onions till they were translucent. Don't forget I added a pinch of salt as well. And then I followed it up with a paste which was made with fried onions. Sauteed all together, then went on to add powdered spices, a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, pinch of garam masala, pinch of mace and pinch of cardamom again, quarter teaspoon of red chili powder, quarter teaspoon of coriander powder, cooked it all together. Then I added 3 tomatoes which were finely chopped or minced and cooked it for another 5-10 minutes. And meanwhile, I whisked up yogurt, cashew nut paste and char magaj paste, which is melon seed paste. And then added that straight into the pan, cooked it through with a pinch of saffron added again. And then I also added the cream and brought it to a boil. Meanwhile, my chicken was cooked. I brought the chicken pieces into the sauce, finished the cooking by adding a pinch of garam masala, pinch of cardamom powder, pinch of mace powder and lots of mint and chopped coriander. And I served it with plain boiled rice. So here's my British korma. It's going to taste jolly good.